Though the £199 Asus ZenWatch may not be as stylish as other circular smartwatches, such as the Moto 360, it does a good job at standing out in what seems like a sea of familiar Android Wear powered smartwatches. It sports a large face, measuring in at 51 by 40mm, with a 1.5-inch screen, but is a lot thinner than its rivals at 9.7mm. Polished stainless steel adorns the majority of the watch, with a slight hint of rose gold on the sides, a colour that's complemented by the accompanying brown leather strap. If you're not a fan of leather straps, don't worry too much, as any 22mm watch strap can be used with the ZenWatch. There is a single button that can be used to turn the watch on and off, but it's underneath the watch, well out of reach when being worn. This means you have to rely on audio prompts and a rather disappointing touchscreen to navigate around the smartwatch. Scrolling between menus became rather frustrating, as on many occasions the ZenWatch would select something that we wanted to scroll past. The Asus ZenWatch comes packing an OLED display with a fairly standard 320 by 320 resolution. While the display resolution is fine for day-to-day use with Android Wear, the pixels are visible on screen. The Asus ZenWatch has an always-on display mode, which keeps the display on even when not being used. After a few seconds of inactivity, your watch face will be replaced with a low-resolution version in an attempt to salvage battery life. For those of you that are battery conscious, you have the option to turn the always-on display mode off. This means after a few seconds of inactivity, the screen will turn off and stay off until you double tap the screen to wake it up. The ZenWatch comes packing a 1.2 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 400 processor, complete with 512MB of RAM and 4GB of storage. It also includes a 9-axis accelerometer, compass, gyroscope and barometer, which is pretty standard hardware for an Android Wear smartwatch. There's also a microphone to be used for audio prompts, a lifesaver for a device with a lack of buttons to navigate with. The ZenWatch also has a heart rate monitor that, amongst other things, can be used to track your heart rate at various stages of exercise. The process does take a while, and we found that on several occasions our fingers touch the side of the display and cancel the reading altogether. Asus has made tweaks to the stock Android Wear OS in a bid to make the ZenWatch stand out from the crowd. It offers smart features like unlocking your smartphone when in proximity and toggling a flashlight on the ZenWatch. It also enables you to mirror your smartphone's camera viewfinder on your watch display. The ZenWatch app for Android allows you to customize watch faces and generally manage your smartwatch. There's also a great selection of watch faces to choose from, ranging from traditional looking watch faces to unusual watch faces that find unique ways of displaying the time, date and other crucial information. Asus claims that the ZenWatch has a 22-hour battery life. During testing, we found that battery life varied greatly. If the display is always on and you're getting notifications, changing music and getting map directions constantly, the 22-hour battery life shrinks dramatically. However, with that being said, when we tested the ZenWatch with normal use, we found that it lasts the full 22 hours. The ZenWatch doesn't come with a micro USB port for direct charging either, but instead has a cradle that it sits in to charge. The cradle is awkwardly shaped and doesn't sit properly when being used. The Asus ZenWatch isn't the most impressive smartwatch we've ever used, but it's not the worst either. It's a very good looking, stylish smartwatch, something that's a rarity in the smartwatch industry. The lack of buttons is definitely an issue, especially with the touchscreen input being as frustrating as it currently is. It does, however, boast a decent battery life and enough sensors for you to shake a stick at. We award 3.5 stars.